and welcome, willkommen to your Psychic Tarot reading with me, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. If someone has sent you this video, they believe there's something valuable for you to gain through one or a few of the messages contained herein. If this is your first time viewing a tarot reading, just observe your own body, thoughts, and emotions for any kind of reactions, subtle or strong. This means you are resonating with the message and can benefit from its guidance. If you'd like to know when I upload or live stream new messages here on the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, watch Natalie, and toggle the notification bell. You will only ever get 3 notifications from me per week, and you will get my community update posts. To connect on social media, you can follow me on TikTok. It's the same handle, Watch Natalie. Please block and report any other accounts. Lastly, always remember that time spirals. All of my messages are timeless. You can learn more about me, my psychic work, how to retain my services, how to do your own forecasting down below in the description box. Without further ado, let's open up your message. Go. Okay, let's see, what message are we opening up with the tarot? Let's see this one. Put Ichabod back, standing guard over your downloads and messages. Twisting in the wind. Aww, twisting in the wind. That's so sad. So someone might be feeling like they are twisting in the wind. Oh, I forgot your download. Okay, so your premeditation, tuning into this energy and sort of prepping psychically for it, I picked up candy apples, and it was so glorious because it was just sort of immediately this rushing feeling and scene came over me, and I was on this dark street, and the cool, crisp air was just in my lungs and all around me, and I could smell and taste in my mouth candy apples, and there was just this anticipation, you know, like, oh, candy apples. So there's candy apples, and then I was like, that's interesting, that's cool, that's pretty cool. I love Halloween, I love candy apples, so I love autumn and spring specifically. But okay, and then your next download is, then I was kind of like, you've just stepped through the doors, you just crossed the threshold, and it was this hotel lobby, but there were these like floor to ceiling glass windows, doors, and it was beautiful. I mean, it's just really, really, really bright. And the feeling that came with that is, it's even more beautiful than the advertisement. It's even more beautiful than the photos online. It's even more beautiful than what they told me it was going to be. It was like you expected it to be beautiful, and it was just even more beautiful than that. It was like even better than you imagined. So let's open this up. This will be interesting. Candy apples. These could be confirmations. These could be synchronicities. And even if none of these messages resonate currently, we all can benefit from the guidances and what, you know, the next person over is learning, because we either learned it or know it intuitively, or it helps fill in the gaps. Ooh. Okay, right away we've got the Knight of Cups. I mean, okay, we've got the Knight of Cups, Romeo. It's a little bit, I just don't know if they're serious. If this energy is very serious, they're feeling feelings, they're passionate. This is, you know, this could be you, this could be somebody else in the situation. This actually feels like the candy apple energy, where it's just the romance just overtakes you. You're just, you know, think of how you guys were feeling in Pisces season, you know, a few months ago. It's this sort of transcendental, otherworldly experience, you know, in this case, falling in love, feeling very romantic, and that is so beautiful. I'm just seeing this now. The vignette thing happened with this. There's fish on his armor. They're red fish, and then there's like these blue waves. Red fish. Red fish, I feel is a thing. Maybe Swedish fish, something with red fish. Red fish, red fins. This feels like you're about to cross over the threshold with the horse with his little blink, blink, about to step over the river. Let's keep going. Tell me more about this energy twisting in the wind. Oh, okay. So twisting in the wind, someone could be feeling emotionally, sort of like how Romeo is very tortured about, I don't know, I forgot what the girl's name was, but he just going through a breakup, another one, and it didn't work out. And then he meets Juliet. So you pop the tower. Another single card too, interesting. So it's this, I feel like this is already going to, we'll see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. I just one more other card too. This is very, when it's like that, it's very concentrated. Let's see what the bottom of the Two of Cups. Oh, the Devil. And the Eight of Cups. All right, twisting in the wind, I see. The one card that popped is the Knight of Wands. Honestly, these energies are very, I don't want to say reckless. It's not necessarily reckless. It's just, it's not settled yet. They haven't reached their destination. In travel and transit. Okay, so take story, for instance. There's the movie, beginning, middle, end. There's the plot. Someone starts on their hero's journey, stuff happens, and it ends. And, you know, there's like their goal and their obstacle, and everything sort of plays out. So that could be what we see in the film, but there's always that underlying emotional, spiritual story of what it's really about. So it's not really about the character getting the job or getting the girl or getting the guy or making even their dreams come true. What it's really about is the spirituality of that person and the real motivation that's driving them. So all of that is to say that these two Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands, there's more to the spiritual story behind this passion and motivation and kind of restlessness of needing to do something, needing to feel satisfied. There's kind of like this twisting in the wind. You or someone else is just not feeling satisfied. Now overall, with this Eight of Cups, the Devil, and we're not afraid of this card. Like I have this up in my kitchen, this Devil I got from that place I think it's called Psychic Eye or something. But this is the 𝚘𝚘𝚘, and this is what every one of us turns into when the shadow comes out, the unhealed part of us comes out. We all turn into the 𝚘𝚘𝚘. So if you heal your shadow, you don't turn into the 𝚘𝚘𝚘. It's that simple. There's a temptation here to either leave something behind and follow. We're going to see where this goes, but I can't tell right now if this temptation to stay or to go, like which way it falls on. It's in my favorite example. If it's the apocalypse, if it's the alien invasion of the bad aliens, if it's zombies, do you stay or do you go? And you just don't know in that moment which one it's going to end up being the best course for you. Okay, let's open up this Knight of Cups. I'm going to stick with the astral. This is already very it feels very subjective. Let me put it that way. It feels very subjective. So, I mean, that does suck. Like, no one wants to feel like they're just twisting in the wind, forgotten about, and just left hanging. No one likes to feel that way. But there's someone that's like just not getting their needs met. What's this Knight of Cups, please? Ooh. Oh, okay. This is good. We've got Temperance. This is what we're looking for with these two cups, getting some balance here. This gives me more faith in Romeo. This is a Romeo that could really be guided by an internal balance. Okay, so all of my guidance in my private practice as a consigliere, in service to you guys, in service to my people, and doing my psychic tarot readings, I am so loving that they are all over Zoom, and I love that they're just like recorded. Guys, honestly, that was just a little Natalie note here. That was part of my Gemini Sagittarius eclipses for me personally. They were hitting me double whammy because I'm a Capricorn Cancer ascendant, and so those eclipses were in my 6th and 12th house and it really gave me such a better workflow, structured day that fits this new life that I'm in. When the eclipses were in Cancer, Capricorn, all of my relationships just, if they did not stand the test of integrity, they just all blew up. They just all blew up. And that also coincided with me uploading tarot videos to YouTube, because that 7th house is also the public. It's also people. So it took a lot of relationships away, showed me who really supported me, who was really there for me, who really cared about me, who was really, really there. And it showed me where my energy was supposed to flow in terms of relationships. And since then, it's just been like I love you guys, like we are like BFFs. So but then after that they moved into, okay, well now let's, now she's in this whole new different relationship with the public, with the internet. Now my daily life was just like changing. So that was that for me. And so honestly, that was part of it, is the Zooms, because now everyone gets seen, I would say within about 7 days, 7, 8, 9 days. So, the bookings I'm able to stay on top of. There's no more list of me either recording or live streaming and then sending it to you guys as like a file download. Like just all of my services, everything is just streamlining so much easier, so much better. I'm so grateful. Long story short, this Temperance energy is kind of like that, like this balance of just, for me, the example is like the day that I'm living that supports what I'm doing and supporting what I'm doing. This person, you or this person, this Knight of Cups, they're feeling that kind of balance with their heart space, with how they feel. They're feeling very spiritually guided. They're feeling very internally healed, in a sense. Healed and healing. So that's beautiful. We love that. Let's open up this Tower moment. Because this may, well, okay, it's going to be a long moment. You have the Devil and the Tower. You might be traveling. Some of you might be traveling, because I'm getting that lobby scene where it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, gorgeous place. You might be traveling, and you might, for instance, with this kind of reading, you might be going to your Pluto line or your Chiron line, and you might, if you're like a little insecure, going to see your Chiron, a place on your Chiron. This is all astrocartography. We can talk about that in your consigliere session if you're interested. It's on the website. But if you're in a lower self-esteem on your Chiron line, it'll just bring out like the worst. It'll just bring out everything's gonna blow up. If you go to somewhere on your Chiron line and you're more confident, you're more feeling good about yourself, it's going to be very healing and very peaceful. I'm speaking from personal experiences. I went to 2 different places, one in America, one in Europe. both on my Chiron line, and the place in the US blew up because it was a dark time, bad time. And the Chiron location in Europe I went to is just one of my favorite places on the planet. I'd love to have a home there. And I thought about that too. I was like, But anyway, let's take a look. Let's see what this tower moment is. Ooh, okay, thank you. That was very choppy. It's a very choppy pop. Choppy pop. We've got the Six of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. I really did not, I knew even going into those eclipses in my 6th, 12th house, I knew what was going to happen. I knew what it was going to be and what was going to have to do with, but I didn't appreciate it until very, very recently. And then I really sort of accepted it, and it just all made sense, and I just breathed like just a huge sigh of relief that I know how my day-to-day life is meant to be and how it's changed so much over the last few years. So they're feeling very like they're kind of pulling apart. It feels like magnets on the opposite ends, like where you try to make them close and they go apart. There's some resistance with this. And to clarify the tower, this could be something that happens in public. You could get into a fight with your spouse in public. You could have a big blow up at work and everybody sees it. You could have, it could be something that you're seeing too. Like you're at work and then the two coworkers are going at it, or you are at the family reunion and two other family members are starting to like fight or something. Or this could be or like a birthday party that someone just messes it up. Or like a wedding, or something like that. Or it could be, yeah, but this looks like some kind of, something's happening with the reputation, something's happening with this almost looks like a separation of, it's almost like if you were known for one thing, it could change, that now you're known for something else, or now you're known for that one thing changing. Or you could just be doing like this total overhaul of your professional image, or making some very drastic decisions about where you're putting your energy, where your collaborations are, all of just the people around you, that kind of thing. That's so weird. Okay, so what she showed me, these 3 pentacles, she showed me my 3 aunts. I mean, I have 2 aunts. My mother has 2 sisters, but she showed me the 3. That's weird. So there might be 3 sisters involved. There could be 3 siblings involved. There could be 3 or more. This is interesting. So my mother and my 2 aunts, they're all very unique. I love these women to pieces. To pieces. These women, I love them. They're all very creative. My mother's a writer, of course, and one aunt is a designer, like fashion stuff, and she's actually, they're all really funny. They're all really funny, like in their own way. And then my other aunt, she's like, she can kind of do anything. She can draw, she can like paint and sculpt and like arts and crafts, and that's like, she was kind of like they were like my governesses growing up. So I got to spend like a good amount of time with my aunts, and they were like my my other mothers. So there could be some kind of like team effort. There could be something just changing, or maybe this could even be like a brand thing, like you're changing your how your brand looks visibly. But this is kind of more of both, where this is like maybe you're making someone partner, and it's like there's a structural organizational change and there's a visible change to the brand. All right, let's move on to the Knight of Wands. Tell me about this. Knight of Wands is a little bit concerning to me. Okay, so it happened again. See on his chest that salamander? That's in the whole suit of the wands. Like the King and the Queen of Wands have like a little salamander. It's like it's part of the visuals of this suit. And it just reminded me, looking at this and seeing only this, that I had a dream last night about, I used to have this ball python, this little baby ball python. And so in the dream, I saw this snake in a tank, and I went over to pick him up because I just missed holding my snake. And so I was lucid dreaming. So I would, like, the dream was going on, and then I saw the tank, and I remembered I was dreaming. So then instead of continuing walking down this corridor, I instead went over to the tank, play with the snake. But that snake turned into this thing. It was kind of like a chameleon, praying mantis, flying thing. And that wasn't me. Like, I was like, that's weird. But then I turned it into, it was flying up into the fan, the ceiling fan. And then I ran to turn the fan off, and it wasn't working. So I knew I was dreaming. So I turned its wings, I turned it into paper mache so that it wouldn't hurt it. That's my logic. My logic when I'm lucid dreaming is the logic. Everyone's logic when you're lucid dreaming, it's like a little bit different. So, anyway, there could be like reptiles or pets or small little animals, little energy sources that are someone's confirmation, or you might see it kind of randomly. Maybe you're just walking down a boardwalk and there's someone with like a big snake, like a big adult python, and then you get to hold it or something. Okay, let's take a look. Let's open that up. I'm seeing the moon. Ooh. Oh, strength. Okay, so the fact that you have strength here, honestly, this is a lot of intense energy to steer, because the Devil, the Tower, and strength. Temperance is like your best. Stay in the light, okay? Stay as balanced internally as possible, because everything else is changing. Everything else, you need to be the rock when everything else is just like debris flying around. So strength and the Knight of Wands. This is weird. This is kind of very lusty, very, very lusty. And, overall, I feel like this is a discernment thing, to really let yourself understand how you're changing, how you're evolving. And there might be something that has been time, that you're ready for something now. Like with this Temperance energy, it's just my slow cooker crock pot energy. Like it just takes a long time. I mean, I did a reading for myself in 2017, and the end result was Temperance, and it happened, like it came to fruition in 2020. So for me, 17, 18, 19, 20, for me, 3 years was like freaking forever. Because I'm in Mars and Aries. But, it's like Temperance, like this takes a long time. So I feel like this has been a long time cooking, a long time coming. And you might just have to like hold your horses for like a half a second more. I would say the discernment to see how things are opening up. But the thing about timing is this. So like in astrology, for instance, timing, what does that even mean? Really, it means when a part of your life is meant to open up. It's meant to develop. It's meant to grow. So change is like I feel like it's such a trigger word because we immediately, like, I remember being a kid growing up, and like my dad would always try to get me to eat food I just did not like, and I didn't want to try it. Called me a picky eater. His family, all very different from my mom's side. They all called me like a picky eater and all these things. And so whenever he would just say, try it, just try it, I immediately shut down. I would immediately no. Don't, mind closed. Did not, I just fell for that one too many times. I just didn't want to eat cow tongue. There were so many things the food was so weird. Everything was weird. A lot of weird food that I just did not want to even try. I didn't want to eat it. I didn't want to try it. I didn't want to open my mind. I just didn't want that. But I kind of want to open this up more because there's something with that energy. There's something with, as I'm describing it, because this is sort of, part of it is impulse control, but it's not like you just have to suppress what you want and suppress your desires. It's using it in a structured way, using it in a way that is beneficial to you and does not work against you. Tell me about strength, please. Wait, how is it? Okay. So this is really, okay, this is getting a little, I have to do this though, we have to talk about it. I remember when I said I wasn't really sure like what side this was on, like staying or going. Someone is actually in your life, very close to you, and you are feeling like you are twisting in the wind because of this person's influence. And let me finish this up with my eating story. So immediately no, little Natalie, don't want to try it, don't want to eat these weird, I just grew up, I just had like 5 foods that I would like to eat, and that's all I wanted, like spaghetti, mac and cheese, donuts, that kind of thing. And, my dad's side of the family would make Mexican food that and there's Mexican food that I love, that I loved back then, but they were giving me things that were just, I was just very averse to, and I just didn't want it, didn't like it, I didn't like anything spicy. And this is all going somewhere. This anecdote is going somewhere. But they would load up my plate. My dad would load up my plate, like at like a family party or something, and there's this big mound of like food that I just could not possibly eat, and food that I didn't even like, that I wasn't even really wanting to eat anyway. And the way I like to eat is I eat a little bit throughout the entire day. Like I eat every like hour and a half, every hour and a half to 2 hours, but it's like a little bit. I'm like, and that they were just like one big like lump of food, like in one sitting. And I wasn't that way. And so after I would like refuse to eat, and I saw my father on the weekend, so it's not like they could wait me out, where it's like, okay, well, you didn't eat that for dinner, we're going to give you that for breakfast the next morning, and then if you don't eat it, you're going to eat it for lunch. They couldn't pull that on me a lot. But afterwards, when I kind of started to just get a little bit older, they started to accuse me of having an eating disorder, anorexia, bulimia, asking me, are you throwing up, asking me about, and honestly, you guys, at that age, I was not aware of my body. I was not aware of sexuality. I was still climbing trees and catching bugs. Actually, I still catch bugs. So then it just got really, and I don't know if they have any weird relationships to food or eating or weight or anything, because like looking back, it was just a lot of projection, and I never had an eating disorder. I would never struggled with any kind of bulimia or anorexia, and to have them set me up like that, like just pile up a lot of food on a plate that I didn't like, and then I didn't want to eat it, And here's the thing, I was ready for dessert. I would eat the donuts, I would eat the chocolate chip cookies. So I would eat one thing but not the other thing. So if I wouldn't eat what they wanted me to eat, then they were all spreading rumors about me and treating me like that, you know, like I'm like ill. And so I never believed it because I knew it wasn't true. And I lived with my mother for the majority. So she just let me eat when I got hungry, and she made me the food that I liked to eat. She wouldn't make it the same time every time she made it. She would change things, but you know, she would still make it. And so, you know, I eat like her. And I remember one time, I promise I'm going somewhere with this. Thank you for bearing with me. I remember one time I did confront my father about it, and he would get me these, oh, I love these Boost protein shakes. What is on my face? These Boost protein shakes, and I still get them sometimes. They're chocolate. It's like this little, well, they started putting me on these shakes to like get me to like gain weight. And I have my father's and my mother's body type, but in my father's family and siblings, he's 6'2", and he's very like svelte. And I mean, not now probably, but like, you know, growing up and in his adulthood and his youth, you know, quite slender and more angular. So he told me lots of stories. Both my parents told me lots of stories about their childhood. And I finally confronted him. I said, didn't you tell me that you had the same body type and that they called you skinny and that they called you all these, like, didn't you tell me that you did only look just like you, and don't you have a healthy appetite? Like, right? Like, you know, did they make a big deal out of it for you? And he was like, you know, Natalie, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I'll take these shakes because they're delicious. If it's chocolate, I'll eat it. So, I mean, all of that is to help you understand what someone is doing to you to keep you feeling like you're twisting in the wind. So think twice about your motivations, your lusty motivations. And lusty doesn't even have to be negative connotation, like what your will is going towards, because you're very emotionally balanced. And there's someone very close to you that, because you trust them, because you are close to them, they're casting the potentiality of doubt in your mind. They're casting this devil energy, but they're only exploiting a weakness in you that you're here to correct now with this tower. You're here to kind of take that power back and say, I know my own mind. I trust myself. I trust myself first because I can be honest with myself. So I can be honest with the world. And you need to push back a little bit with this person. Okay? It's almost like they're telling you that you're being lusty in the bad way. You know, this is almost like if someone is telling you, like, you're already making $100,000 a year. You're already making $50,000 a year. You're already making $250,000 a year. You're already making $10 million a year. You're already making, you know, and they're kind of like telling you or making this seem like you're being greedy and that you want more, or, you know, like you're already this, you're already doing that. Like, why do you keep going? Why do you keep wanting more? Why do you keep, it's kind of like that. That's kind of what it is with this Knight of Wands. So someone's questioning your passion, your vitality, your will, your wants, and they're kind of like taking the back door route to your insecurity. Maybe you told them about some story from your family or something that happened with an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend like a long time ago, and they have that lodged in their subconscious, or it's consciously, and they're trying to like bring this vulnerability out to exploit in you. There's something like going back and forth with the situation, okay? So whoever's feeling like you're twisting in the wind, your form of resistance is not totally your subconscious. It's someone exploiting something in your subconscious to use again. They're weaponizing your own subconscious against you. I think that's actually a line from Inception. I think Ariadne says that to Cobb. When does she say that? Anyway, so, oh, I did want to, okay, before, okay, I'll say that for, if I hope I remember, but I wanted to update you guys on something too. Okay, so that's basically your message. That's basically what all this is. This tower moment is probably something that you've already known that needs to change, that you need to level up or elevate, or that could also be that breakthrough where you are opening up some other area of life, or opening up something within something that's existing, like a company or a marriage or a partnership or a project, a creative project, and then it just opens up to a whole new level, and then you take it to, you just, like, reach for the stars here. Like, reach. Thank you. So me seeing the moon was actually just to tell you to reach for that. Like, let yourself reach. This person is kind of telling you, like, don't reach. You already have enough. You already, it's all, you're good. You're already, That's projection. And do not get caught up in feeling or believing like you have to convince this person of what you feel or of what you already know is true for your life. Because like Johnny Depp in the audio, he said, and I'm not going to stay here and argue with you because I know that shit lasts forever. That's kind of it. It's kind of the thing, you know. You just be secure in what you know. What's true for your life. You're an individual. Everyone's an individual. And with some people, projection is the closest thing you're going to get to a confession. So if you're looking for that validation, never going to get it. Don't expect it. Don't expect it. Don't try for that. Don't try to convince anybody else. This is like the couple where one of them accuses the other one of cheating. And they're like, I never cheated. I don't cheat. That's not what I do. I never cheated. But the other one won't let it go, won't let it up. That's projection. That's projection of something, of the infidelity or the insecurity, or there's some more there. Okay, let's get your guidance. Any more guidance coming through for... And listen, even if that's the case, like this is like a toxic person very close to you, just kindly with kid gloves, place them on the other side of your boundaries so that you protect yourself and that you allow your life to open up the way it really wants to. And astrologically speaking, if it's the time for it, if that's the timing lining up, then it's going to happen whether you choose it or not. So you can make the tower moment, or you're going to get the tower moment. It's going to be through external people and situations and events that are happening to you that are going to ignite the opening up and the shifts happening for you. If you don't walk into it and make it the conscious free will decision for yourself that you're going to be in control of how your life is opening up, that's for all of us, everyone. Like, that's just how it works. Crane, bottom of the deck, you have like 2 messages down here. You will soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Luck and longevity bless this union. Okay, so for some of you, this is like working with, if you're like a band and you work with the same producer for like 10 years, she's showing me, sometimes she shows me the examples that I'm supposed to illustrate for you. So if any of my anecdotes or examples are part of your synchronicity and confirmation and they resonate, that's why. But she's showing me Rammstein, and there's like this whole thing. But, you know, you're working with the same producer for like a decade, and, you know, this could be, if that wasn't the right producer, you're going to go and try someone new. They actually kept that same producer because it's like an amazing artistic collaboration. So this is kind of like, if you haven't been meaning or haven't been able to meet new people, work with new people, socialize with new people, or, you know, pursue partnerships in the way that is in the direction of your growth. This is part of it, is to this one toxic person is really spinning the, you know, and when I was a kid with this food thing, I didn't think about it in the moment. I didn't see the pattern only when I got like a little bit older and I was, you know, like, come on, you know, when I was like, had that moment with my father. But, you know, when I was little, I just didn't want to eat it. I just didn't want to eat it. I mean, it was like, I mean, this was like a big drama. I was conned out of time with my sister because she was off playing and I wasn't allowed to go play with her because I had to sit at the table, and I couldn't drink any water because I would have to, my father would put this water glass like in front of my plate, like over here, and I would have to take a bite. And if it was a big bite, the glass would move like an inch closer to the edge of the table. And once that glass got to the edge of the table, then I could take a sip of water. But if I tried to con him and take like a little itty bitty bite, he would just nudge the glass, the water, like, you know. So it was, I mean, it was just like it was so dramatic. It was so dramatic. I always knew that I was going to love being an adult. That's such a Capricorn thing, and I do. I love the eclipses in my 12th, the 6th house. I'm so grateful, finally. I didn't see it when it started. It started with Gia dying, and so, of course, you know, really fucked me up for a long time. But now, at the end of it, now I can appreciate it, because now I have mediumship abilities. So your other two messages, so that's part of it. This is also, we've got two cards. We have the chickadee and the goose. The chickadee, the time is right to release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change. It literally says it. They're using the trigger word, the C word, change. But you are. I mean, this is like kind of like literally embracing change. Raw there. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You know, it's not that just that this person is attached to you. You are also attached to this person. This is going both ways. I wanted to go play with my sister, but like I wasn't allowed to. Like I had to sit at the table, you know. And you have the goose. Your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. Oh, is it? Is this backwards? Can you even read it? Your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. This is interesting because you feel like you're twisting in the wind. You feel like you can't get going. You feel like you know emotionally how you feel and spiritually what you believe, but there's no pulling the trigger. I'm sorry. You know, there's no initiation, there's no action behind it, and that's why you're feeling a little bit frustrated. Like life could even feel like it's just twisting in the wind in life. And that form of resistance, it's partial subconscious, it's partial just seeing this for what it is, and then this person. So the journey begins today. We do energy work in all these videos, and so you're ready to start, because your dreams and desires, like literally your dreams. Remember when I said like reach, let yourself reach, like Oprah says. What did she say? Well, I just said it too. Let yourself just dream the biggest dream. Let yourself just like reach for the freaking stars. And desires. So your Knight of Wands energy needs to be fulfilled. You already know what the dreams are though. So it's all there for you. Let us know how this goes, because this looks like a doozy. This looks like a doozy, and not my lighthearted story, family eating stories. Like this looks way bigger than that. So let us know how this goes. I will check in on your energies next time, my loves. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.